Hi, Ocean City, second and third graders. So this yoga short class is designed to help you move your body and also to feel really good moving your body. So come to stand, we call this Tadasana or mountain pose. So come to stand with your legs straight, your arms by your side. Take a breath in and a breath out. Go ahead and interlace your hands together and press your palms forward and stretch your arms all the way up. And take a side bend and just release that bottom hand and sweep it across and grab your ribs and stretch your top arm further. Good. Come on, back up. Release and do the same thing other side. So interlace your hands, reach your arms up, take a side bend, release that bottom hand, reach around, grab your rib cage and stretch your arm. Good. Come all the way back up and release both arms down. So roll your shoulders open and back. Take your hands back together at your heart. As you breathe in, sweep your arms all the way out, around and up. Maybe your gaze comes up. And as you exhale, keep your legs nice and soft as you fold in half. I want you to take a breath in and slide your hands up your shins. You could still look at the floor. And then breathe out and fold back in half. Come all the way up. Take a nice big breath in. Reach your arms out, around, and up. Squeeze your legs nice and tight. Arms up. Maybe your gaze is up. Then bring your hands back to your heart. Let's do that again. Breathe in. Arms up. Breathe out. Fold in half. Keep your knees soft. Breathe in. Stretch your arms. Slide them up your shins. Reach your torso long. And fold in half again as you breathe out. Good. Breathe in, come all the way up to stand. Squeeze your legs. Gaze is up. And exhale. Take your hands together. So put your hands on your hips and take a pretty wide step. So stepping out with each foot, and then stretch your left leg so that your knee is bent and it's over your heel. I want you to reach your arms out in warrior two. Take a breath in and a breath out. Let your right hand slide down your right leg and reach your left arm over. Good. Take a breath in, come back to warrior two. And then maybe shorten your stance a little bit with your back leg. Stretch your front leg straight, hinge forward. This is triangle pose. We call it Trikonasana. Good. Let your left hand find somewhere on your leg that feels supportive. You don't have to look up. You can look straight forward. Good. Take one more breath. Good. And then slowly come on up. Sometimes it's nice to bend your knees. You come up back to warrior two and then hands together on your hips, shoulders nice and open. Between sides, I want you to stretch your arms all the way up, just so we get a nice stretch in the chest. This is a power pose. This is a really good pose to help you gain a lot of confidence, feel strong in your body. Good. And release. Okay, so we'll come to warrior two, other side. So bend your right leg and stretch your arms up. This is really strengthening for your legs, also for your arms. Take one more breath here. And then reverse your warrior. So it's called humble warrior. Let your left hand slide down your leg and reach the right arm over. Okay, come back to warrior two. And then, so when I come to triangle, I like to have a little bit of a shorter stance. So we're going to stretch the front leg straight, hinge forward. Let your right hand find your leg and stretch your left arm up. And be really solid in your feet here. So press your feet into the floor. Imagine kind of reaching them away from each other. Good. You can soften your knee a little bit to come on up. And then let all 10 toes face forward. Put your hands back on your hips. We're going to fold forward here. It's a great way to stretch the back of the legs. So take a breath in. As you exhale, hinge forward. You can stay just like this, or release your hands to the floor and let the top of your head release down. Maybe we can really gently let your head move side to side a little bit, maybe forward and back. Inhale, I'm going to call this a half lift. So we lift like halfway up. And I want you to bend deeply into your left leg. This is called Skandasana. It's one of my favorite poses. It's a great way to stretch the inside of the leg. So bending the knee, you can call this runner's lunge too. Good, come back through center and move to the other side. You don't have to go this low. Your hips might be a lot higher. Good, and then come on back to that wide-legged forward fold. Put your hands on your hips and inhale, come all the way up to stand. Take a moment for a breath and then heel toe your feet in a little closer, a little closer, a little closer. So from here, let's come into a balancing position. I want you to shift a little bit more weight to your right leg and just hug your left leg in. If you guys sit a lot during the day, this is so nice just to relieve some of that, like the pressure of sitting. It's good for your low back. Good, and put that foot on the floor. It's also good for your balance. Strengthens that foot that's on the floor. So right now we're strengthening the bottom of the left foot. So hugging the right leg in. It's also good for focus and concentrating. Good, and release that foot down. So let's add on here. So I'm going to turn this way. So we're going to shift the weight to the right foot, draw the left leg in. Now you're going to take the right hand, tuck it under your left leg, and stretch your left arm back. So we're in a twist. This can be a little challenging. I like to just keep my gaze pretty neutral. Good, one more breath. It's also really good to kind of wring things out for the spine and then release. Okay, I'll face forward on this side. So shift your weight to your left foot, hug your right leg in. And then take your left hand and put it underneath. So we kind of just like scoop it under here and stretch that right arm back. Good. Again, you can look forward. You can look kind of to the side. You can send your gaze all the way back to your hand if you want. That might challenge your balance. Good, and release. Good, so both feet down. Let's find one more. These are kind of challenging postures, these standing balance challenge. I call it challenge, standing balance postures. We'll come to warrior three. So stand with your feet together, put your hands in prayer, shift your weight a little bit to your left foot, and let your right leg float up. This is super challenging. You might feel super shaky. That's okay, be shaky. You can flex that back foot. Some people call this airplane. Let's take one more breath. Good, and then slowly come back to stand. Shake it out a little bit. Sometimes we get pretty serious when we balance. Put your hands together, back at your heart. Shift your weight just a little bit to the right foot. And try to keep your hips nice and neutral as you send the left leg back. It doesn't have to lift too high. Good, let's take one more breath. Good, and slowly come down. All right, shake that out. So back bends, we're going to do a standing back bend and we're going to come to the floor. They give us a lot of energy. So put your hands on your hips, roll your shoulders back, and then just kind of squeeze your elbows together and just start to lift your chest. Good, taking like a nice big full breath in, full breath out. Good, and then release that. Put your hands together, forward folds, which we're going to do next. They kind of help us let go of any kind of stress you might feel. So bend your knees. And then just pour the body down, let the crown of the head reach down. It's a good way to just let go. Imagine your hair falling to the floor, just anything you might be holding on to, kind of let it drop out of the head onto the floor. Good. So take a breath in and let go of your hands. Come to the floor. So finding all fours. Let's take a moment for a little cat-cow. So arching and rounding. Breathe in as you arch. Breathe out as you round. With one more breath. Take a moment. Bring your shins to the floor, the tops of the feet to the floor. Slide your hips back into child's pose. It's a good time to let your breath out through your mouth.
Take one big breath in, and then as you exhale, find downward facing dog. I like to let my head and neck kind of move a little bit here, just for, not fast, move slow, but just for some ease. And then on an inhale, start to shift your body a little bit forward and walk your feet back a little so you're in plank pose. This is so strengthening, especially for your core. Good, and then you can drop to your knees and slowly lower down. Let's find cobra pose. Roll the shoulders open and back. Wiggle your hips a little bit, tops of feet to the floor. Slide your hands back a little more to the ribs and lift up. Good. As you breathe out, shift yourself back into child's pose. Take a breath in. As you exhale, find down dog. Good, and then lift your heels, bend your knees, look between your hands, step your feet up. Breathe in and lift your spine just halfway. Maybe hands come to shins. Breathe out and fold forward. Good, this is our last breath in. Inhale, sweep the arms out, around, up, squeeze the legs, reach your arms up. And then as you breathe out, bring your hands together at your heart. Let's take a full breath in and a full breath out. You guys are amazing. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope this made your body and your mind feel good. Namaste.